next step is the purchase agreement. And basically, think of the purchase agreement as the title to your business. The purchase agreement is typically 40 to 60 pages long. It is, depending on your buyer, can be an easy read document that's long, or it can be a very complex document that's very long. Again, it depends on the buyer. The buyer is going to craft the letter of intent. The buyer is going to craft the purchase agreement. You will work with an attorney. And again, this is not a sales pitch, but we have several attorneys that we work with that specialize in mergers and acquisitions. And I cannot impress upon you enough today that using your mom and pop attorney that you use for like your normal everyday business legal needs is probably not the right person for this type of transaction. You really, truly need someone that specializes in mergers and acquisitions. It's kind of like if you owned a Tesla and your Tesla got wrecked. Taking your Tesla to a non-certified shop probably isn't the best idea because A, they can't buy parts to fix the car, and B, they don't know the proper repair techniques. Then comes another unnerving thing, and that is, what happens with your work in process? All the cars that you have in your shop that are on the ground, all the money that you've paid out in parts, sublet, labor to your technicians, what happens to all that? And materials, your paint materials, and what other materials that you have on hand, two-part epoxies, seam sealers, all that good stuff. So this is something that, again, isn't black and white. Each buyer handles different, and every part of this is, I don't want to say negotiable, but stuff that can be modified and codified, if you will. And then ultimately get to the closing table. And I always like to say this about closing. People think, and including myself, when I sold 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, I really thought like we were going to come to the table, sit down, kind of like a passing of the baby, if you will. And it's not like that at all. Literally, it is, you sign papers at your house or shop or wherever you want to sign them at. They're going to sign them remotely. The attorneys marry them up. A wire comes and it's a done deal. That's it. Once it's all over with. And for me, I don't know about you, but my shops were my life's work until now, They were everything to me. And the thought that that's all that it was, you know what I mean? Like it's just, for me, it was very hard to deal with. And I think that's really hard for a lot of sellers to deal with, to not be prepared for that, to expect that there's going to be some sort of pomp and circumstance, and there's none.